On August 10th, 2019, the world's most notorious sex trafficker was found dead in his jail cell. The official story was very simple: suicide. But the evidence that was left behind? Well, that tells a very different and honestly, a much darker story. It's a story of convenient failures, of conflicting forensics, and clues that suggest the real truth hasn't even come out yet. And this, right here, is where the questions really start to pile up. So on the left, you see Jeffrey Epstein alive. Pay close attention to that permanent barbed wire tattoo on his left arm, a mark he apparently had since he was 18 years old. Now look to the right. That's the body being wheeled out of the jail. That same tattoo, it's just gone, nowhere to be seen. So how does a permanent tattoo just vanish? Okay, so to really understand the mystery here, we have to start with the official narrative. You know, the accepted chain of events from that morning. On paper, the timeline looks pretty straightforward. At about 6:30 in the morning, a guard, Michael Thomas, finds Epstein in his cell. Just minutes later, he's on a gurney, headed to the hospital. A week goes by, and the medical examiner closes the book on it. Suicide by hanging. Case closed. Or was it? Because as soon as investigators started digging a little deeper, that simple, clean timeline, it began to completely fall apart under the weight of some, let's call them, incredible coincidences.
I mean, the sheer improbability of it all is just staggering. Think about it. You've got the country's most high-profile federal prison, holding the world's most high-profile inmate. And what happens? Not one, but two cameras right outside his cell just mysteriously failed. At the same time, the two guards who were supposed to be watching him, they skipped their mandatory checks, reportedly fell asleep, and then later admitted to faking the logs to cover it up.
And you have to consider the immediate reaction here. The very first words from Officer Thomas when he found the body, they weren't about saving a life or getting help. It was, "We're going to be in so much trouble." That speaks volumes about the priorities and the negligence that was going on that night. But honestly, the guards' failures almost pale in comparison to this little detail. The official Department of Justice document, the one announcing Epstein's death, was dated August 9th, a full day before he was officially found dead on August 10th. Now, the DOJ just dismissed it as a simple typo, but it just forces you to ask the question, right? Was this really just a simple clerical error, a slip of the finger on a keyboard? Or was the paperwork for a pre-planned event just filed a little too early? Okay, now let's go inside the cell itself, because the physical evidence has become this huge battlefield for forensic experts, pitting the official ruling against a very different and, frankly, much more violent conclusion. So on one side, you have the city's official medical examiner. They concluded it was a suicide and said the marks on his neck were consistent with a bedsheet. But then, on the other side, you have Dr. Michael Baden, a really famous forensic pathologist hired by Epstein's own brother, and he said no way. He stated that the fractures in Epstein's neck were far more consistent with homicidal strangulation than with a hanging. And, the scene itself makes the whole suicide theory even harder to believe. Epstein was a man who was nearly 6 feet tall. He supposedly hanged himself from the lower bunk bed, and his cell was so cluttered with linens that it would have been hard to get any leverage. And yet somehow, through all of this supposed struggle, nearby medicine bottles were left perfectly upright, completely undisturbed. And then there's the money. Just a few days before Epstein died on her watch, one of the guards, Tova Noel, made a $5,000 cash deposit into her bank account. So where does a prison guard get that kind of cash? Well, according to congressional investigators, the Department of Justice never even bothered to look into it. It just remains another completely unexplained piece of this puzzle. So beyond the cell and the autopsy report, there are these other really strange pieces of evidence, sort of like digital ghosts and cryptic notes that just continue to fuel speculation and defy any easy explanation. On the night before he died, what little surveillance video was actually working captured something really bizarre. An unidentified orange blur moving up a staircase toward Epstein's cell block. And because of the camera angle, it's never seen coming back down. What was it? Who was it? We still don't know. And then there was this, found on a legal pad inside his cell. Amidst a bunch of messy notes, there was one clear phrase: jail out equals 10. Of course, August 10th was the day he was found. So, was that some kind of suicide note? Or was it a chilling reminder of a scheduled appointment?
So when you put all of this together, the conflict just becomes undeniable. I mean, for every single official explanation, there's a mountain of unanswered questions. A simple suicide versus a missing tattoo and conflicting forensic reports. Sleeping guards versus cameras that all failed at the same time. A typo versus a death announcement that's dated a day early.
And look, this isn't just online speculation. This story is far from over, even at the highest levels of government. Congress is actively re-investigating all of this, calling key witnesses to come in and testify. And, crucially, millions, and I mean millions of pages related to this case are still sealed, completely hidden from public view. Which, of course, leads us to the final, really big, lingering question. We've seen all the inconsistencies, the coincidences, the bizarre evidence. But with so much information still under lock and key, is it possible that the biggest, most shocking revelation in the entire Epstein saga has yet to even come to light?